Hello book nerds and welcome to Book Nerd TV. Today I'm going to discuss a book I read. It's an ebook ARC, so advanced reader copy, that I got via NetGalley, not a sponsor. The Remarkable Life of the Skin, an intimate journey across our largest organ, was written by, or is written by, Dr. Monty Lyman. This book is supposed to come out in June or July of this year, 2020, and is published by Atlantic Monthly Press. I am one of those people who really loves medical related or science related and I guess history related nonfiction content, or nonfiction books, nonfiction content. I guess that's true as well though, nonfiction content. And so when I joined NetGalley, the main thing that I definitely want to make sure that I put as one of my selection criteria is nonfiction books. And luckily, when I made my selections, or put the filters on for my selections, one of the first books that came up is The Remarkable Life of the Skin. Again, I am enthralled by these kinds of books. I love these kinds of books. It's just a nice deep dive into something that for human beings is a very commonplace, can be very commonplace things like our skin. It's not something that we consider or think about unless, of course, there's a problem, unless, of course, there's an acne issue, unless, of course, we have a scar that we're dealing with. If we're not troubled by those kinds of conditions, we hopefully wash our skin on a regular basis, hopefully. And we moisturize where that's necessary. Apparently not everybody moisturizes. And then we go on about our day. So The Remarkable Life of the Skin offers an opportunity for those who might be interested to deep dive into the functions of the skin, the structures of the skin, and where they exist, problems that can arise with the skin. I enjoyed the way Dr. Lyman takes us on a very, from the surface level and then deeper, layer by layer. Is that a pun? I don't know. Anyway, but layer by layer sort of deconstructs the structure of the skin. It was informative, which is something I like. I like learning things about, again, commonplace things or not so commonplace things, but I just enjoy learning. I enjoy gathering information. It may not be, I mean, clearly I'm not going to go to a party. Well, I'm not going to go to a party anyway, but I'm not going to start up a conversation about, did you know the skin is the largest organ? Did you know that these, I'm not going to do that. I mean, I'm not saying that I wouldn't like to do that. I'm just saying I'm not going to do that, right? So having the book gives me an opportunity to dive into and to learn more. And I think that's one of the things that I really enjoy about nonfiction, is the opportunity to continue to learn about myriad things long after, school, college, secondary, post-secondary education is over. I enjoyed how Dr. Lyman takes us from the description of the skin as a whole and moves us through the structures of the skin, going deeper and deeper, sort of the different layers, literally the different layers of the skin. It goes all the way down to the cellular level, discussing the skin. I love that kind of deep dive. And he moves on to issues that can come about because of problems with the skin. And he goes from superficial, like acne, like psoriasis, like other things that I'm not thinking about at that moment, but any sort of skin irritations, rashes, and those kind of things, and the various and sundry reasons why these things happen. And it could be known causes, known irritants, known reactions, allergic reactions to the environment, to food, those kinds of things. And then he moves us on to the more serious conditions of the skin, like skin cancer and other diseases that really affect and mark, like leprosy as well, that affect and mark the skin. And again, not only are there health issues at play here, but then there are also these mental issues and social issues, and he gives a brief discussion of those things as well. I found that I really enjoyed the deeper dives that he could take, especially on the scientific level. Definitely very informative. Dr. Lyman's writing style is very engaging, and I feel like, again, it's almost a conversation. Okay, maybe a one-sided conversation, but nevertheless, a conversation. My only issue with this book, because overall I enjoyed this book a great deal. I like I said, it's one of those situations where the deep dive into a particular topic is just something I truly, truly enjoy. Chapter 9, which is his chapter on color and race, not necessarily his best chapter. When he veers off into sort of cultural thoughts and reactions and prejudices about skin color and race, really, that's where his footing is not as certain. And for me, since I'm still listening to Medical Apartheid. I've got 2 chapters left, and again, the breaks have been significant because the breaks have been necessary. Having Medical Apartheid as a backdrop and then reading his chapter on color and race as it relates to skin, it's a very surface conversation, and that is something that you need to be aware of if you've read Medical Apartheid or sort of have any sort of deeper experience around skin color and race. This might strike you as a very superficial treatment of race, and I feel that it is. Others may not, but I certainly felt like it was a very superficial conversation. But that may be the only conversation that he's capable of having. You can find other resources that will give you a more complex and more nuanced approach to race and to color than you get here with Remarkable Life of the Skin. So if there's one ding for this book, it is going to be this chapter for me. Overall, however, I enjoyed the book immensely. I recommend the book to anyone who is interested in this genre of nonfiction, sort of scientific medical information for the layperson, because this is most definitely written for the non-medical, non-scientific person. It's still completely understandable, still completely engaging, and dare I say entertaining. I don't know if that's appropriate. I don't know if that's the appropriate word to use with this book, but it most certainly was a book that you can move through page by page and stay engaged to the very last chapter. Again, understanding that chapter 9, for some people may prove problematic. However, if you enjoy the type of books that Mary Roach writes, sort of her looks into these various and sundry, your digestive system, what happens to the body after death, all of these sort of wonderful topics that she finds to write about, if you like that kind of nonfiction book, or books like The Great Influenza, another book that I really enjoyed. I read it years ago and maybe somewhat topical right now. If you've not read that book, The Great Influenza by John Barry, you may want to pick that book up. It was a very interesting read. I would read it again, I think. I may read it again, actually. Again, topical to what's happening right now. So if you've enjoyed either one of those books in the past, I think The Remarkable Life of the Skin will be a book that you will enjoy as well. As I recall, the book is slated to come out in June or July of 2020, so that would be this year. So certainly keep your eye out for that book. That is all I have for today, book nerds. Thank you so much for watching this channel. Remember, if you enjoy this video, please leave me a like. If you've enjoyed any or most or all of the content thus far, go ahead and subscribe. And if you want to be alerted when I post a new video, go ahead and ring the notification bell. And remember, whether it's taking a deep dive into the remarkable life of your skin or discovering unknown facts or little known facts about history, there is always time to read. Have a great day.